What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to episode 24 of the Where's My Hat podcast. Our guest is Drew Zimmerman, aka The Modern Nobody, at The Modern Nobody on Instagram. And it gets a little wild again on this episode, and I feel like you're going to enjoy it. So here we go.
My name's Drew Zimmerman. I'm a local comic out of Fort Wayne.
How do you identify?
As a human being?
Yeah, your gender.
Oh,
gender?
I'm a man.
Do you have a penis?
That's awkward.
I feel like I want to ask that question.
If she
I feel like it's 2023. You're not allowed to ask that question anymore.
I'm not allowed to ask that
I feel like you're not. Yeah,
but it's our podcast, so we do what we want.
Is this? I feel like I'm getting gang. I feel like I'm getting ganged up on right now.
I just want to know what your genitalia is. I don't need to know what it looks like.
So
mind you, there's people who look like you who send their genitalia to me free will without me asking.
Currently?
And here I am asking you, what do you have as genitalia? And you're offended. I don't understand.
Well, I'm offended because of the assumption that my genitalia dictates my gender.
I don't think your genitalia dictates your gender.
Wow.
I just want to know what your genitalia
what your gender was and what your if you had a penis. And that's a fair question.
Is
Do
it?
you?
Yes.
I assumed.
Do you?
I assumed your gender and I assumed your
Wow.
genitalia.
Wow. Cancel Stacey Stark. That's
Cancel
where I think
me
that's.
out.
I
She's
think that's where.
transphobic as fuck, and that's
Dude,
okay.
I'm not that. I'm really not. I am actually technically trans, so fuck you. Anyway.
All right, so you're a man, he, him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I feel like it'd just sell better if I wasn't in 2023. I feel like I could probably make that work better for me.
If you were a white man?
Anything other than a white dude.
Oh, well, that's up to you.
I mean, it is 2023.
You could do whatever you want. Welcome to 2023. We're supposed to have fucking flying jets. Do whatever you want.
I mean, we do have flying jets. Do you know how jets work?
Oh, yeah. Well, you
Okay,
know.
I just wanted to make sure you know how planes worked. Okay.
I don't truly believe that those are real. Anyways, point is.
Wow, that's a hot take.
I haven't seen one in person.
What do you think about birds?
Birds are definitely real.
So birds are real, planes are not.
I don't know.
How is that possible?
Planes are real. Jets, I'm not sure about.
Oh, so planes are real, jets aren't real.
What is a jet, but as opposed to a plane? What's the difference?
I think the kind of engine they use.
I think it has to do with a jet engine, and I think it depends on how it.
I feel like I'm getting real above my pay grade as far as like what I know. Immediately,
we're not paying you.
As soon as fuck.
Do you know
all right,
how much
well then I'm
shit
way
I
above
spew
my pay
out
grade.
that is actually completely false on this podcast? We don't do checks.
No research?
No,
we
don't have a Jamie on this
Yeah, I was
going to
say, you don't got a Jamie?
No.
Where's your Jamie? Pull that
the
shit up.
only things we ever Google is what people look like, usually.
Oh, so you can shit on me and tell me I look like Little Hands or Strong Hands or whatever his fucking name is?
Like famous people, if we want to fuck them or not. That's why we Google.
Oh.
Yeah, but actual
Is
facts,
it most famous people? I feel like most people want to fuck most famous people. They just don't admit it.
When you're doing a fuck, marry, kill, there's one of them, so it's 1 out of 3 that we kill. You know? And if we marry someone, like, yeah, there's like the potential there probably you would fuck them, but you know what I mean?
I feel like it's less likely if you marry them that they fuck them.
But that's usually not the motivation to marry someone is to fuck them. It's usually based on their personality. I get just as in my experience of fuck, marry, kill. That's what it is.
I'm not good at games like that.
Free will, do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Play however you want to play. We're not even down the road of fuck, marry, kill.
We haven't even gotten there yet.
Oh, we're getting there? I didn't know we were getting there.
We usually do it. We sometimes do it.
It depends. If it starts to get kind of windy down and like
everybody's
starting to
I'm
suck.
not funny.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Point is, towards the end of the night, when stuff gets kind of like somber feeling, just add a little extra F, Marry, Kill on there, just so.
Why did you say F, Marry, Kill? That's weird.
Because I'm trying to watch how many swears I use.
What, are you trying to get past at Crackers again?
No, I'm trying to get like some views on YouTube.
It would be so nice to be monetized, especially then we could at least pay Brandon, who does most of it.
who does all the hard shit.
Yeah.
He does. So anyways, so you're Drew Zimmerman. Do you got any projects going on right now?
Not really. I write a bunch of sketches and shit, but I can't convince any of my my motivated friends to see my vision, so none of them do anything with me.
Why the fuck did we book this guy?
Exactly.
Because he doesn't have any clout.
Oh.
No, I mean, I'm asking, is that why you're asking me that?
No, he's just not busy.
I mean, I'm busy. It's just all stand-up. It's not other shit.
Do you have sketch ideas?
Oh, yeah. I write tons of shit.
We'll do sketches.
We should collab on sketches, because I got some sketch ideas.
I write tons of... You have a cat?
I have...
Holy shit.
You know what,
this just
fair,
became such a cooler podcast.
I'm the best comedian in Fort Wayne, and, like, no one ever wants to do a sketch with me.
You're a terrible actor.
I actually have done sketches, so I was being hyperbolic.
I have seen your sketches, and you were terrible in those sketches.
I didn't have to do
acting.
a lot. I wasn't asked to do much, so how would you even know?
It was enough for me to find out that.
Why are you being so mean to me?
I've only ever seen.
Up with you?
Remember when Mom and Mom didn't fight?
Did Mom and Mom not fight?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Alcohol is involved, and here we go.
All right, keep it above the belt. No eye gouging.
It's mom and ex-stepmom to you now, sir. It's up to you to decide who it is.
Oh,
I'm just saying you shouldn't feel bad because no one asks us to.
Is it whoever adopts me do I get to claim their cat as a sister?
No.
What the fuck are you gonna do to my cat?
Nothing's my sister. I want to pet. I just want to pet the cat.
But you're not related, so who knows what could happen there? We don't know.
You look like the type of guy who's interested in stepsisters.
I also am. So
this took a weird turn.
I'm so happy that you won't meet my family.
This took a weird turn.
You're happy that I won't meet your family?
Yeah, because then you won't hit on my stepsister.
You're still my comedy partner.
That doesn't mean you're going to meet my family.
You know what? You never
But if she's into stepsisters, she wouldn't hit on your stepsister because that wouldn't be her stepsister.
No, that's true.
She just wants to fuck. I think she's just trying to be like, hey, I have a stepsister I want to fuck. That's fine.
Yeah, you know.
They're not related.
I don't have any stepsisters.
She just wishes she did.
Yeah.
It's a cool dream. Everybody can dream.
I had a crush on my stepmom.
See? Same.
I'm just saying they're not actually related, so it's less weird.
Yeah, samesies.
Yeah.
But I also don't have sex with cats. I just really wanted to pet that cat.
I don't even know how you would, honestly.
I'm sure someone has. It's humans are weird.
You don't want to think about Drew fucking your cat?
Nah.
I don't want to think about it.
You do want to think about it?
No, I don't want to think about it.
Thank God. I don't want to think about it. It's only Stacey that really wants to think about this.
I'm already thinking about it.
Stacey's like, I need some private time.
That explains why you're mansplaining so hard.
Can we take a break from the podcast so I can go to the bathroom?
Really? Oh, because you need to jack off because you're so horny about the cat?
No, I was doing my impression of...
Poor kitty.
Of me?
Yeah. Because you were the only one that was interested in...
Cat fucking.
The cat fuck.
I missed that part.
We're
I thought
saying
that
fuck so much at the beginning of this podcast.
Fuck
my monetization dream.
I'm
just saying.
It is our podcast. It doesn't matter how many times we say the word fuck. It doesn't matter what we say. If we want to get canceled, we get canceled. But I'm just saying the F word is not going to get us canceled, so who cares?
I just want the moolah.
So, you guys want to hear about my stalker? I got my first stalker last night.
Yes, please tell us about your stalker.
I got my first Instagram stalker last night.
Ooh.
And
Is it because I thought you were Christopher Lover or whatever?
You know what?
They were like, oh my God,
not even
we
his
could
name.
get that Scream 2 fame.
It's the name's wrong, the movie's wrong.
Christopher Elliott, my bad.
Is she... Why do we let her on this podcast? is the question.
You know what? She wants to leave, but I'm like, I'm not gonna come to your house and record without you.
Oh,
I'm also the
You know.
benefactor.
Stop.
What does that mean? A benefactor?
I pay for everything.
Okay, but that's not why I want you to be my comedy partner. I mean, you know what? That is actually why you are, though.
I know. I'm well aware.
All right. Chill out, guys. Chill out. So I got my first Instagram stalker last night.
No, wait, hold on. Before we get on further, back to what we need to talk about.
Oh, okay.
I'm just fucking with you. There's nothing to talk about.
There's
Continue.
so much,
But
we
yeah, I was
need
gonna
to
say
hear
there
your
is.
story.
I just I don't want it to happen in front of me.
No,
Yes,
Drew. If you want character in your life, you're gonna develop.
I have a lot of character in my life. I don't need characters in my life.
Hey, I warned you before you came in here that it was weird last night. It's probably
that's
going to be weird.
really
tonight.
Why do you
weird.
think I'm trying to steer back to my?
Tell us about your stalker.
Oh, yeah. You
Tell
had
us
an
your
Instagram
story. I'm
stalker.
sorry. We're so
because they
rude.
thought you were Christopher Elliott.
You're fine. No, you know what? I'm gonna beat you to death with this microphone, and then we'll have
Stop.
to have.
Will it be with your strong arm?
Okay, our audience is annoyed
Oh, yeah.
right now.
You're
so
the only
stop.
audience. Don't talk to
No.
me about being an audience.
I'm saying when other people listen to it, they're going to be annoyed. So let's please stop antagonizing our guest
I don't
and
care.
let him tell his story.
For the
Please,
record,
Drew.
I don't care if they antagonize me.
Also, Drew,
Um,
I'm so happy that you're here, and I like fucking with you.
No, thanks.
Same.
Same,
Please tell
guys,
your
same.
story now.
So I got like 1:30 in the morning last night. I got a message from what is the profile says is a woman who is an artist, but she only has she follows like 500 people, and she has like 300 followers, but she's like I'm a paid artist and I can pay you for the art or whatever, but she only has 2 things that she's ever posted on Instagram. So she
Okay.
sends me this message and she's like, I think you have a really beautiful face and you could be my muse. And I want to use you, and I want you to send me pictures that capture your personality.
Okay.
And
Go
then I'm
on.
going to use those as like an art project for some person that's paying them. And I was
I
like,
could see that.
no. We spent the last 20 minutes joking about how I look like Strong Arm from Scary Movie 2. No.
But you have a face for art. You have a face.
I don't think that's a
captivating art.
compliment, Stacey.
It depends on what kind of art it is. What you're trying to
Yeah,
say
I,
with
I
it.
feel like Picasso would be like, I feel like I could do a lot with your face.
He could. You're right. He could. Go on with your story.
But yeah, so she sends me this message and she's like, I want pictures that capture your personality.
So you send her your dick pics.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not a creep. I mean, I do jokes like I'm a creep, but that's because I'm not actually a creep.
See, me too.
It's funner to be. It's funner. We've had this conversation. It's funner to make fun of dead kids than it is to have dead kids.
Yeah.
It's funner to make fun of being a creep than it is to be a creep.
That's
Yeah.
facts, yeah.
So, she sent me this thing is, I want you to send me pictures that capture your personality, and I was like, I don't know what would capture my personality in picture form, so I just sent her, and I also thought it was someone trying to hack my Instagram account. So I replied and then instantly changed my password on Instagram just to be like, just in the off chance. But I like a good story, so I'm gonna keep fucking with them just to be like, in the off chance this is gonna turn into a good story, I want the story. And so then I sent him a couple pictures that I had already posted on my Instagram that were like, just already out there. And then I get a message back and they were like, "Oh, these are great. I might need a couple more. I'll keep in touch with you." And I was like, just thought, okay. I don't know how to respond to that. It's 2 a.m. at this point. I'm going to bed. Well, I don't respond to it, and 3 minutes later, I get another message instantly after that, and it was like, "I see you didn't respond. Are we good?" And I was like, "What? What are you talking about? Like, are I've known you through 8 Instagram messages for 20, 30 minutes tops,
Right.
and then it's instantly like, are we okay?" And I was like, what the fuck is
Have I
happening right now?
destroyed our relationship?
Yeah, like,
yet?
I still don't know. And I, like, all day I was at work and I just kept checking my Instagram to be like, I know this bitch is going to send some crazy shit. Like, whoever this is going to send some crazy shit.
Right.
And I'm still waiting for the bomb to drop. It's getting about that time, honestly. I should probably check.
Was that the whole story? Just that she
Yeah,
said that to you?
dude, I got like 30 messages.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wait, Brandon's gonna speak.
Yeah, so that same thing happened to me. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about because I don't know, I don't remember what the profile name was, but yeah, they only had like a couple pieces of art, but they like messaged me, and they were friends with one of my friends that they tried this on, but he always said he was too busy according to them. So I was like, oh, I see you're friends with Sam, actually, Sam Trowbridge. Remember he was on here?
I forgot entirely. I don't even know who
it's
you're
okay.
talking about at all.
He's
That's the guy from your band.
yeah,
or-
yeah, he's
the music
He's
guy,
a
yeah.
guitarist, and he has some songs out and stuff. But anyway, they did that. They asked for pictures, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I gave them some ones that were already out there, and they were, you know, I was like, all right, whatever. Like, these are great. I'll get back to you. Then, like, a few minutes later, like, they got back to me, you know, and they did the same thing with the unread thing, like you said. Like, I was like, that's weird, and they were like, so the whole thing was, I was like, all right, glad I could help, you know, and then he said like, so it looks like a girl, but then he was like, yeah, my wife died. And like blah blah blah. He was telling me like, because he was talking about a little bit about himself and stuff, because I was asking like all these questions, and then it ended up like he didn't have any money, right, to buy paintbrushes or make this painting.
Can you also send me the pictures? Send me the money.
He was gonna get a check from this supposed person that wanted the drawing or painting done.
Yeah.
He was gonna send me the mobile deposit to deposit for him, so I would have all this money. And then I get to keep some of it, and he get, you know what I mean? It's like
the most elaborate
scam.
Nigerian scam ever.
It was like, I was like, I'm not doing any of that.
Also, I'm a king in my country. I don't know if you know that, but if you send me,
yeah,
what the fuck?
Well, and then I was like, dude, do you think I'm stupid? And then he was like, there's no need for harsh words. I was like, that wasn't really harsh. I just said, I'm asking if you think I'm stupid, but it was pretty crazy.
Hang on, Brandon. I had this woman one time ask me to make a painting for her, and she offered me $2,000, but I could tell she was crazy.
Yeah.
And I like sort of tentatively started the painting, and this was maybe like 5 years ago that I talked to her, and I have not finished that painting.
I didn't know you painted.
Yeah, I'm a visual artist as well.
Just tell her that you're still working on it.
I've lost track of her.
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to give it to her anyway, but
Yeah.
It's a very elaborate painting.
Yeah. No, I thought that was crazy. I overheard, like, I was like, no way.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's
that person's out there just doing this, I guess. I don't know. So
it was
that's my little bit. I'm out. Here you go, Kristen. My bad.
Thank you very much,
Didn't mean to
Brandon.
take over.
Anyways,
yeah.
So wait,
crazy
okay,
Instagram
I'm
stalkers.
sorry. I guess I have to say I'm a little bit not sure exactly what all your stalker did. Why this is such a big deal? Can you?
Oh, it's
maybe
not a big
back
deal. It's
up,
just my
or-
first one.
But can you explain to me what all she did again?
Oh,
even
well,
if it's
she
repetitive?
just like bombarded me with messages to be like, you know, it started off in the way where like I was like, this is instantly weird because no one. Dude, I was like, I almost got married once, and the girl I almost married wasn't like, you're so handsome, like you're my muse. Like it started with that message, so I was like, yeah, no, this is weird. Like why? Like no one is. I'm not gonna say I'm like the most unattractive person that's ever lived, but I know I'm not attractive enough to be getting random messages on Instagram where people are like, "You're so handsome, I love you."
I mean,
like I know
sure.
I'm not that guy.
But like, what else? Like, what is the extent of her being?
Oh well,
stalker?
it was just like the I say stalker like in a joking term, but it was just like the getting bombarded with messages and being like, "You're my muse. I need these pictures." And then like I said, like
Can
as
you
soon
show me these messages?
I'll send you the whole fucking thing, like, or I'll show you the whole thing.
Dick pics, to be honest.
It's yeah.
This shows
So,
my
like,
personality.
But
that's her.
But is it like she's saying like a lot of things?
Well,
to
that's
you?
her. I respond.
I see. I
4
see what it is.
messages. I respond. Then she's like, "Give me the pictures," and then I send her a couple pictures that are all on my Instagram. She could have easily.
Hey, I took this picture.
Yeah, she She could have easily just grabbed any of
I
these.
took that picture of him in the high chair because he
Oh
looks.
my god! Oh my god! Can I have that? Can you send that to me?
There's an even
all
better
adorable.
one. There's an even better one that I'll send you.
That's the better one. That's the better one. Of me
No,
with
because
the
the other one,
Well, I wasn't.
My friend Richard really thought you were. So yeah.
Was what? Say it. Say it.
I see you didn't
ridiculously
respond. We good? I guess
dumb.
not.
Oh, is that what we're thinking?
You know what? I'm not going to take the time to read all of this, but Drew, I am going to counter argue. I don't know that she's stalking you. I think that she was maybe serious about doing art about you, and you didn't respond to her, and maybe she has an anxious personality.
But I
did
did respond to her all the way up until the point where she was like, I will stay in contact with you and let you know if I need anything else. And then I didn't respond to that because what am I supposed to type? Okay.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, maybe she's not that crazy. Maybe she's like my level of crazy.
I would believe
think
that
it's-
if we didn't also just have Brandon come out here and tell us an identical
I think it's
story.
a Pakistani or
Yeah, it's a
somebody
fucking-
It
that
could be. No, that's true. I'm sorry. You're right. I've had that happen to me before too, and they don't really push that hard. So you're right. It could just like not be a real thing.
I don't think it's real. I mean, if
Yeah.
it is, like, whatever, it pans out. I don't care. I don't really care anyway. Like, that was what was weird about it was I sent them when they were like, we need all these images that capture your person. Like, because they were like, we love the things you post on your profile and we want pictures that capture your personality. And then I only sent them things that were already on my profile. And
That's a good call.
And they were like, these are great. And I'm like, you literally, if you were that interested, you could have just hit me up and been like, can I use a couple of those? And I would have been like, yeah. And that would have been the end of the conversation. But hey, I need to be involved with you. Hey, you didn't respond. Like, that's weird. That's the part where I go, like, that's either stalkerish behavior or scammer behavior.
I get it. I'm with you now. I understand now.
I'm with you.
I actually had a girl, I think her name was Anna, who was messaging me a whole lot, but she was also messaging me, my girlfriend at the time, a whole lot. And we figured out that actually she, like, I think she was a bot. I think they were like,
just
real.
Like doing a friends list. Like, you're friends with this person.
Because it was like the responses that she would say, like, it was like, hey, I have broken English, so I might sound weird, but and then she would like say something, and it's like
that was one of the messages that I got that I was like, that was the first one. Like, it was already weird, but that was the first one that made me think it was a scammer. Was I got a message where it was like, wasn't really a joke I made, but I kind of half made a joke, and the response I got back was, haha, you so funny guy. And I was like, how either you're a bot or you're drunk as shit. Like, there's no, like, you don't type like that when
or don't speak English, but also is talking to you for nefarious reasons.
Yeah. Which I kind of put in the bot category. At that point.
Yeah. Why do you think they do that?
money.
Yeah,
How do they get money by doing that?
They start off with the gentle gestures of being like, "Oh, you're affable, you're adorable," da 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 da, and then they get into, "Well, okay, I would love to do these things for you, but I don't have the money or the funds to do that. If you could send me something," and it could just be something small as like $5, but then after that they get your the information needed for, like, let's say a PayPal or something like that, and then they extract everything they can.
Also, it's not just necessarily that. It's if you're doing large sums of money, like those Nigerian scams, like that we always joked about when we were kids, where you would get the email that's like, "I'm a prince. If you send me $10,000, I'll send you $2 million once I get my shit out of escrow."
Have you guys seen that stand-up comedian? I don't know what his name is, but he does like slideshows, and he had like a
Dimitri?
No, but he had a whole thing about like a Nigerian prince.
Those scams, a lot of people, those scams worked because of the exchange rate. You would email those out 600 times, and if you got one person to bite it, the exchange rate was so fucking high that if you could get $5,000 in American, that was like $500,000 in fucking whatever money they were transferring it to. So they're like, if I can get one old person to send me their pension check for 2 months, I'm set for the rest of my life in this country.
I know a gentleman who did buy into the bot once, and he was like, "Oh man, I love this girl. She's amazing." This dude literally reminds me of Oscar the Grouch, straight up. Like he's the type of guy who does recycling and stuff like that. Like he'll take stuff and scrap it. Like he'll go through garbage to scrap and shit. And like just the look on his face. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's adorable in his own right, but he just doesn't seem like the type that can pull a 10. And this lady that he was talking to is like, I'm in love with this woman. She's the best. She tells me everything I need to know. And she's like a straight up like porn star-esque 10. And I'm like, so how do you know her? Online. Oh, okay. Have you given her money? Oh, I've given her tons of money. She deserves it. She's telling me. She's just giving me what I need, so I feel like I need to give her what she needs.
Oh my god!
It's like, did you see the story? It's blowing up right now. Well, blowing up. It's been a couple weeks. There's a OnlyFans girl that posted that she had her #1 OnlyFans subscriber pay like $15,000 to her privately, and then like his travel expenses on top of that to fly out to get a picture with her. And then the next post that she had was her using all of his money to take her boyfriend across the country. And you're like that shit. That shit is why I don't like strip clubs. Like I don't like being lied to. Like I don't like.
I mean, you shouldn't flaunt it like that. I mean, granted,
you do what you want to do. Like whatever your hustle is, that's fine. But it's the where like the picture, because this is where I got where I was like, that's kind of fucked up, was because she had a side-by-side picture of her with her like #1 OnlyFans guy, and she just looks like, yeah, this is Steve, blah blah blah, and then it's her with the post of like, babe, I'm going to take you across the world. This is the first of the next 25 vacations. And then it's her and her boyfriend. And she's like, ha! And you're like, you could have at least faked it for that dude. Like, that dude just paid you $10,000 for a hug. Like, you couldn't even put a fake smile on for that shit.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Well, if someone gave me $10,000, I would probably
you'd be smiling like a motherfucker.
Anything, or nothing, and make the best smile I could for $10,000. Absolutely.
What's the lowest dollar amount you would take to give someone a blowjob?
Me?
Yes, you.
Do I gotta finish?
Yeah, the dude's gotta finish.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna need some money then. Because I'm not gonna be good at it, so it's gonna be a long time. I feel like one of two things is gonna happen. Either I'm gonna be really bad at it, and it's gonna be a really long time, or I'm gonna be really good at it. And then I'm gonna be like, I really don't feel like you got your... Like, I feel like you got your money's worth, but I don't feel like you got your money's worth.
As long as he gets that money shot, that's all that matters. Now, back to the dollar amount.
I don't know. Like, that's why I'm saying it's a weird dollar amount, because I feel like I'm either going to jip them or I'm going to, like, really... They're going to be like... I feel like it's either going to be an hour-long blowjob where they don't finish and they just get mad at me and go like, all right, just fucking stop. Just stop.
For a straight guy, it seems like you're focusing on how well you're going to give a guy a blowjob.
Well, I try to be good at my job. Like, at whatever job I'm doing, I try to succeed at, all right?
All right.
That's why I'm a good stand-up. Well, I'm a decent stand-up. I'm all right.
I think you're pretty good. Honestly, I think both of you are pretty good. You are both... You started around the same time, and I feel like you both have come a long way. Like, and I'm going to toot my own horn here, speaking as someone who was pretty damn good right out of the gate, like, I've gotten better over time.
Okay, we're doing that now.
Like, you two, I was not necessarily fully impressed when you guys first started, but you are the kind of people who, like, learn and grow.
Oh, we're doing that now. Do we want to gang up? Do we want to do this?
I have a little bone to pick with that.
Do we want to beat her up?
Right.
I do have a slight bone because you told me from the beginning
yes.
that for being as new as I was, I
Mhm.
was really good.
You were, and I meant that, but also you've gotten a lot better.
This is also something, this is why I don't get mad when, like,
Stacey talks.
well, no, when people who have been in it for a long time, like, give you critiques.
I know that I have not really grown that much. Like, there are certain things that I maybe used to do that I don't do anymore. I try not to.
That's the thing, is,
But-
like, there are weird plateaus.
Yeah.
Like, Isaiah and I have talked about this, where there are, like, weird plateaus that you hit.
Yeah. But
where
I've always
it's-
been the same person, generally.
Well, yeah,
so
because your comedy is very much just you.
it's just
I don't
me.
even know if you know you're funny. I still don't know if you think
I
you're
am
funny.
not sure.
Like,
The only reason that
every
I
time
am
you
still-
kill, I'm like, you killed, and you're like, really? Did I?
Yeah, the only reason that I still do comedy is because other people tell me that I'm good at it.
Which you are, but I don't think you know that you're funny. I don't even know if you know what funny is sometimes. I think you just
Not
have
always.
such good delivery that you're like,
Yeah, I'll say things that people laugh at, and I'm like, oh,
was
I
that a joke?
was that part of it? Okay, I guess I'll do that again.
That's
Yeah, I get that.
But that's the whole thing. That's why, like, you and Kristen, that's why you and I are Kay, I'm sorry. We'll have to
Yeah,
cut
whatever
that.
you got to do.
I don't know, but that's why you and I have, like, we've had this conversation before. Part of getting to that stage, part of getting where she's at, is learning how to translate yourself, because
Right.
you sell yourself to the stage perfectly. Like, what you do on stage is just you. Like, you could walk off stage, have a conversation with someone, and do a different 5-minute set, and they probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
I have had that experience where, like, someone saw me perform, and then they talked to me after, and they're like, is this just how you always are?
Exactly. I mean, like, that's the thing. Is like,
Yeah.
Is this a bit? Like, I don't. Are you?
It's not a bit, it's just how I am.
Yeah, I'm just that guy.
But I am just sharing it with the world. That's all I'm doing.
But that's the thing, is, like, a lot of, and I feel weird about this because, like, I get a lot of pushback from comedians who are, you know, because you've been, you're like 7 years, I think you said?
I started in 2016.
26.
What
Yeah,
year
7
is
years.
it?
Yeah, so, yeah, okay, so, yeah.
Wow.
So,
Man, I should be so much further along. I suck.
no, you've got
You're getting there.
legit fucking crap.
You're getting there.
She's catching up. Don't worry. We'll let her.
You're getting there. It's
Thank
not
you.
about where you're at. It's about where you want to go, and then to try and get there.
Well,
And
see,
you've
it's
helped me a lot.
not just that. It's, I think a lot of people don't understand what success in stand up is. Like, a lot of people
It's
define
not easy.
Not,
for
it's
one
not
thing.
not only that it isn't not easy. Any level of success in stand up isn't easy. But a lot of people define success in stand up. They look at people like Bill Burr and Richard Pryor and fucking Tom Segura and Dane Cook and go like, these guys are selling out arenas. I want to get there. And you go, do you understand how fucking like, there are maybe 30, 40 people that do that ever.
The
Yeah.
average time that a comedian has put in for a special, to get a special, it has taken them 10 years
Oh yeah.
to get that special, on average.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I got 3 more years to go.
Well, that's if you ever
Before I
look
have
at,
to feel bad about myself.
and I'm a big fan of him for certain reasons, but I'm not a fan of him for other reasons. But if you ever look at Sam Kinison, that was the Sam Kinison thing. If you look at Sam Kinison's first special, after he blew up on the Rodney Dangerfield's Evening at Dangerfield's, when he blew up, he got his first fucking special. That special was a highlight reel of all of his best bits that he had been doing for 15 years. And then if you look at every special after that, it's a steady decline, because when he's going out to clubs, and this is something a lot of comics don't do, is they don't throw out their material. There's a couple comics that I won't say names, obviously, but there are a couple comics that you'll deal with that are big names in the rotation in Ohio, Michigan, Kentucky, Indiana, like, that rotate around. And you'll see them a year later, and they're doing
the same jokes.
at open mics.
That's not great. I mean, like,
It's not great.
I do some of the same jokes that I started with, but I do try to, like, learn and grow as a comic, and it's like, if there is something that doesn't work, I don't do it. But also, if there's something that, like, I've been doing forever, I don't do it at an open mic. I save it for when I have a show.
Because you
know
have all the beats.
Yeah.
I know how this joke works. Like, I don't
Yeah.
need to do this joke for fucking people that don't know me. It's one thing to be like, hey, I'm stuck in the middle spot on an open mic, and I had 3 people bomb before me, so I'm trying to, like, I want to give these, I want to bring the crowd back up. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you're going to fucking Studio 7...
and doing the same jokes over and over and over again. I don't even always do my jokes there. I do weird shit there. That's the place to do weird stuff.
Just fucking riff.
Yeah.
Just do your shit. Just like...
And then maybe you'll find something and then use it later more professionally. That's the whole thing.
But a lot of people don't. A lot of people get into comedy and they define their success as I'm going to be Bill Burr. I'm going to sell out Fenway. How many comics have ever sold out Fenway?
I mean, I think that it's a good thing to aspire to.
It's not. I'm not saying don't aspire to it, but if that's what you define as success, you're going to fail.
I feel like what I've heard many other comics say as a definition of success for them is just to have a special. That's what I've just heard. Is like, I want a special.
That's completely feasible. So for me, when I got into it, because I don't know about you guys. I would love to have this conversation. I decided I wanted to do comedy at 27.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get on stage for my first time until I was 31.
How old are you now?
33. Well, I'm about to turn 33.
Okay.
But I didn't get on stage. I decided I wanted to do it, and I was like, I don't think I can. And
anyone can if you want to, and you can write a joke. You can.
But I did it at 27. I was like, I want to do it. I had some weird shit with another comic that was already established in the scene, so I wasn't sure if I would be able to start here.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was kind of like hesitant about that, and then COVID hit.
Right, that's rough.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, fuck, dude, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do this. Right. And then I got a job. I was working.
That was really scary. That was really hard for like anyone who is a performer. That was really hard. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved like being at home and having that solitude and becoming a DoorDasher. Like, I loved every single part of my life during that time, except for the fact that I wasn't sure if I was ever going to do comedy again.
See, and I couldn't imagine being in that. That's one thing that I give. Yeah, that's one thing I give myself. I'm lucky that I started when I did. Because if I had started before COVID and had been a fucking open micer and then COVID hit and I spent a year going, I can't do anything, I would have questioned myself so fucking much in that time that I would have never gotten back on stage again.
Yeah.
Like, I would have been like, no, it's been a year. I haven't done anything in a year.
You don't think you would be itching to go back on stage?
I mean, at that point...
Do you not love being on stage, though?
Yeah, now I do. Think about if you started... And you were in it for 2 months, and then COVID hit. Yeah. And then you spent a year going, I haven't been on stage. I was on Bambi legs for those first 2 months.
And then you got shut down.
And then I got shut down, and now I'm just sitting in my house going, I think maybe that's funny.
Yeah, I don't have the same experience, because obviously I was already established for a few years.
I don't know.
Before that.
I don't know. I think I would be itching, to be honest.
If I had been in it for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so I was with Dominic at the time, and we actually tried to do, like, an online thing during that time. I don't remember.
Were you doing, like, Zoom shows?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was that we did. I think that it was maybe, like, some sort of karaoke thing. But me and him, like, we had a fight while we were trying to do that. And so, that was my only experience during COVID where I, like, tried to do anything performance-wise online, and it went bad.
See, I only ever heard horror stories. Like, anybody that I know that did Zoom shows during COVID was like, it was the weirdest experience ever because most people would stay muted the whole time. So then you're like standing in your living room, which feels weird in the first place to try to do jokes in your living room.
Right.
And
Well, we were in my basement, so it was a little more comfortable.
But then you're
not the one I live in now.
But then you're doing jokes to a computer screen with people muted, and you're like, I see them like fake laugh.
Yeah,
like I don't
you
even
have-
know if they're actually laughing or
You
not.
should have one person in the room with you when you do your jokes. If you do a Zoom, that way you have like some.
I just think you shouldn't do
relevancy.
Zooms. Like not to
No, don't get
for
me
that
wrong.
period of time.
Don't get me
yeah,
wrong.
that you
What
needed to.
I'm just saying, in that period of time, I think
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
be make it a little bit easier if you had
But
like,
also you're
one
in-
person in the room.
But
with
also,
you.
you're in quarantine. So if you weren't quarantined with somebody, that was
Dude,
the weird thing.
SNL during that time, so awkward.
Very
oh, dude, it was the
awkward.
worst.
Yeah, like
'Cause
I'm
they're
happy
literally
that
just
they
sending
still
their shit to each
did
other.
it, but it was like they would still do like the same jokes, but there was no laugh track, and so you're like, these people obviously are not used to no reaction. You know what I mean? And it's just like an awkward silence, and then they move on.
That's why, dude, anybody that said they did stand-up during Zoom, even if I'm not a fan of your stand-up, I'm just like, fucking,
I'm not gonna
that had
do
to be
it.
so disconcerting.
I'll entertain
Absolutely.
myself in other ways. I don't need to subject myself to no audience. You know what I mean?
Like, I'm sure we've all had sets at Summit where, like, those lights are hitting you and you can't see the crowd, but you're not getting laughs, and you're like, well, I know there are people there. At least you have that feedback. But you can't see their faces.
At least you know for sure that they don't like it.
Yeah. No, see, I was going to say, at least you can pretend they might be like, whereas on the
yeah.
Zoom, you just get to see all of their faces like, okay, I see what you did there. And yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know that I ever did anything on Zoom,
Where they're
but,
like,
yeah, I don't
everybody
know.
that I heard do Zooms was like, I would just look at a sea of 40 faces going like, that was all right.
Dude,
you're like-
I tried to
that's
do
another thing,
the
too.
Lady Laughs Comedy Festival that year. That was the last year that I actually tried to do it.
The what?
And then everything
the what
shut
festival? What was it?
down.
What's it called?
The Lady Laughs Comedy Festival. It's in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
And and everything shut down. And then I found out
I don't think I
that
can get on Lady Lefts.
Probably not.
Like they moved everything to Zoom, and I wrote to the host, and I was like, I don't even have like a computer.
We should
you
go
know?
to Madison though. On a real note, sidetrack. Like that, it seems like such a fun comedy town.
It is so fun there.
I've heard
I
real
don't.
good
I've
things about
only
them,
been there
'cause
for
they
the
had- that's,
festival,
where-
but
Comedy on State? Is that what the club's called up there?
I don't even know.
I'm not sure.
I know there's a gay bar called Plan B that we were at. And that was
That's
so much
cute.
fun.
But like, I just feel like comedy is so much fun in Wisconsin because they seem like such comedy people, you know. So for the listeners at home, we're booked for 4 showcases.
Oh, is it 4? Fuck.
I think it's 2 showcases in Michigan for the month of June.
What's up?
But it's
Oh,
at
it's June? I thought it
Supernatural
was
Brewing.
March.
It's in June.
Oh, maybe that's why he didn't sign me, because I signed up
It's-
for March. I thought it was.
Oh yeah, he's got you down. I'll
Okay,
I'll
yeah.
talk to him again. But yeah, we're for Supernatural Brewing. The 3 of us are on that show.
Fun times. That's gonna be fun. That's
2 showcases. Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's really dope. I'm really it's my
Speaking of
folks
which-
booked paid performance.
I gotta send him your guys' stuff. See, I'm doing this in the mic. This is why it's weird.
But
Yes.
to talk about what you wanted to talk about earlier, I wanted to do stand up since I was like 12.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to do stand up since I was like old enough to hate myself. And
I'm gonna wake you.
no, it's true. But I did little like talent shows and shit. Take your time.
That's such a great line. I didn't want to do stuff so old enough.
It's a fact. But I did. I've always wanted to do stand up, and I did like sketch shows and shit for talent shows, and
Oh,
I did
cute.
like one.
What was your best sketch?
We did like a. Do you remember?
No.
I mean, I was in fucking middle school, mind you, but we did a. You are the weakest link.
Oh,
you remember that?
I like
So we
that
just
show.
did a ridiculous version of that,
Mm,
which was fun.
that's really fun.
And
I
then
like that.
like we all like ended up passing out because we couldn't handle how the lady talked to us or something along those lines. And then I did like 2 minutes stand up for a talent show in high school.
How did
Oh,
that
so that's
go?
technically your first time?
Technically.
I didn't know these things about you before.
But like
Ask these questions.
yeah, you remember me telling you about my first joke I ever wrote?
Yeah, so what's the first joke you ever wrote? Like that okay.
I feel like
There's-
you've said it on the podcast.
I
All
think
right,
I have.
I got 2 questions for each of you. What's the first joke you ever wrote that you actually think was a joke? And then what was the first joke you ever wrote for stand-up that you went, that's actually a stand-up joke?
Okay, yeah, I have the answers to that.
So 2 jokes that I wrote. The first one was dumb, but it's been used before by other stand-up. Other people who's done stand-up is like, I find when my dad says, "Don't ever fucking swear in front of me," a bit hypocritical. So that was one joke, and then the other joke was, hold on, let me get it right. My aunt passed away in Florida, but her plot was in Illinois. So her remains had to go up into Illinois somehow. My family decided the best way to do that was to mail her. And in that process of mailing my aunt to Illinois, somehow she got lost in the mail. So my childhood brain was like, hopefully, whoever found her in the mail, best case scenario, was probably a child who looked at this present that was so excited about it and was like, this is not the bike I wanted this year.
Please tell me that's a true story.
It is actually a fact. My aunt got lost in the mail. She got lost. It was during Hurricane Katrina time.
Did you get her back?
Yeah, she was.
Dude, hold on. Can we talk about the statistical anomaly of your aunt getting caught in Hurricane Katrina and getting spread across the entire Louisiana coast?
I know, she was in Florida for crying out loud.
Yeah,
She ended up being in Alabama. Who knew?
Yeah,
She was traveling. She was busy.
that's amazing.
I know. It was great.
She's like, I wanted to get spread at my plot. I'm spread across the country. Like,
She got to see all of our relatives. It was
yeah,
nice.
that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I like it. All right, Stacey, what's yours?
Okay. The first joke that I ever wrote, and then the first joke that I ever wrote that I knew was for stand up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a hard thing. I'm just gonna say what
You
came to
you
mind.
immediately jumped in with I have the
Oh,
answer.
I do. I'm sorry. Just bear with me.
I had to fuck with you.
Just bear with me. Okay. So, when I was in college, I went to a poetry reading, and I read a poetry thing that I wrote about stalking some guy. Like, I had a dream about stalking this dude, and I wrote a poem about it. Anyway, I read that, and then I started talking about this other thing where it was like about how I had sort of kind of slept with this guy who like everyone there knew, but it was like I just was like telling people that I knew about this situation that happened to me while I had a microphone in my hand. And that set is my losing my virginity set that I still do to
Yeah.
this
Oh,
day.
that's a real story.
And yeah, and
I
that
didn't know that. That's hilarious.
when I told them that story, they're like, "Dude, you got to do stand up." So that was nice.
Wait. So, hold on. Had you done stand up at that point?
No, but I had thought about being
So-
a comedian, just like knowing that I'm like generally a funny person, but like when I told that story, I wasn't thinking of it as like I am going to entertain these people with
That's
something
fucking
funny.
wild.
It
Okay,
was more
so
I'm
then-
going to talk to these people about something that they know about, like this person who I also interacted with this person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's fucking wild because that would technically be, I don't know, I need a third part for the question. So what's the first joke you wrote as a stand-up that you wrote
Okay.
where you went, I'm writing this as a stand-up?
Well, a little while later, maybe like a year or two later, I was messaging with my friend Erica, and I said something about how, gosh, wait, which one was it? There were two jokes that I'm thinking of that I messaged Erica, and those two messages became two jokes that I still do today. The one of them was the live long and prosper, where like I do the thing with my fingers about how to fuck a girl.
You haven't done that in a while. I like that joke.
I do it sometimes, but that's
Yeah, but
that's
not-
what I mean about like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
already
yeah,
have
stay-
it down.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't need to do it at an open mic.
I only get to see you at open mics.
But then the other one
I want to see your good
is
shit.
that I messaged Erica about was I understand Easy Mac, but I still prefer the regular level of difficulty Mac. That was
That's a
another
great
one.
joke.
So I wrote I wrote those two. I literally wrote them, but then I thought like, God, I'm so fucking funny. I need to keep that in my back pocket.
You're like, God, I'm so fuck. That's what you have the. What's funny is like you as a normal person has like a higher level of energy, or not energy, but what's the word I'm looking for?
Awareness.
Not awareness, esteem.
Esteem.
You have you as a regular person has a higher level of esteem than you as a comic, because you as a comic is always like, I don't like that shit. But then you as a person just pitch the same joke that you'd be like, I don't like that joke as a comic. But as a person, you would like, yeah, I like that joke.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, I have no clue what you're talking about.
So, if you wrote that joke before you were a comic,
Right.
you've done that joke to me as a comic and been like, that joke is like 50-50. Whereas
Right.
clearly, like you as a person, it's because you're burnt out on the joke.
Yes, exactly. I don't
So,
do it a
like-
lot anymore because
Yeah,
I've
you don't-
done it so many times.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's what it is. Is like you as a comic, when I'm like, dude, I love that joke, you're like, I don't like that joke anymore. Whereas you as a person, before you were a comic, was like,
That is
oh,
so
I
fucking
should do
funny.
fucking comedy.
Yeah, those are the three jokes that I wrote first that I didn't know were stand-up jokes at the
I like
time.
that. I like that.
Do you what was your first joke that you ever wrote?
Before I was a comic,
Before you were a comic,
before
as
I was
a comic,
there was
I'll tell you when I was a comic, my joke that I wrote. But go ahead. I mean, those were
how many
kid
just
stuff,
start playing
but-
back? Are we just...
what's that? No, for the first open mic I ever did here at Summit. I can tell you that.
See, that's not. Yeah, no. The first joke I did for I will tell you. I'll give you all three since you want to do three. The first joke I ever wrote that I can remember, and I actually hit the dude up once I became a comic and was like, I kind of think I owe you my comic stance, was me and a buddy in like third grade had a joke about Captain Crunch. It was a whole routine about Captain Crunch as a pirate. Like if Captain Crunch was a pirate and like just like commandeering other like pirate, like that's how they keep getting Captain Crunch flavors. Is they keep commandeering other Captain Crunch ships. Like it was just a dumb joke that we like. It was a routine we wrote in like third grade, and I wrote it out, and me and my buddy would like do it because we wanted to do it as a routine in class. So we wanted to work it out like completely as a routine, and we would call each other on the phone and work the routine out, and then every time I would rewrite it, and then my mom would like steal it out of my notebook and hang it on my fridge, which I think honestly is the first time my mom was like, this kid's kind of funny. He's all right. But then the first joke that I did as a stand-up, the very first joke I did as a stand-up was about how I don't think I know what my age is. And how
That's funny.
Like how I think my mom was lying on my birth certificate. Because like my birth certificate says that I'm 33, but I feel like I'm 63. And I feel like my mom was lying on my birth certificate like a Cuban Little League player. And I just don't know what my actual age is.
That's funny.
So I went up at Wrigley and I did that joke, and there was do you remember the the real skinny black dude and the kind of heavy set black chick that would show up, the couple that would show up, and they would always sit, if you're on stage, if the where the raffle thing was, they would always sit at that middle table.
Okay.
You remember who I'm talking about?
No.
You would if you saw him.
Okay.
But the dude, because they were there every fucking week.
I don't have like facial
You
recognition.
talking about the long hair dude?
No,
So
no.
I don't know that I would know.
He had like short, like his shit was shaved into a fade. She had long hair. She had like a wig. But I did that joke my first time, and then the next day I was hanging out with my buddy at Boost Mobile, Tyler, who's a new comic.
Yeah.
And he works at Boost Mobile, and I was hanging out with him at work, and that dude came in, and he recognized me, but he did it in the most aggressive way I've ever, like, had anybody approach me.
Okay.
Where he was like, I saw you doing comedy last night. And I was like, the way he said it, I was like...
Were you scared? Or
yeah, for real. Like, I was like, what the...
Maybe you said something wrong.
like, I was like, I don't... Because I called him out. Because, like, I did the joke about, like, I think I might be, like, my mom was lying on my age, like a Cuban... Or lying on my birth certificate, like a Cuban Little League player.
That's
Okay.
And then he laughed, and I went, this guy gets it. And then he laughed again, but then he kind of got, kind of pulled... Didn't pull back, but
I don't...
like...
Okay, for one thing, Drew, I don't get the joke. Also, for another thing, if he's a black guy and not Cuban, then I also don't understand why he would be offended.
Well, he wasn't... It wasn't that he was offended.
Okay.
It was, like, he didn't... So, do you know anything about Little League?
No, I mean,
Or
like,
Cubans.
pedophilia, is that what the joke is, or what? I don't know.
Why did your brain go there? No, the
Little
whole
League.
joke is...
you know what, I think because of the L word, actually. There's a scene in the L word that
I've never
anytime
seen
I hear the word
I really
Little
thought
League,
the
I
L
think
word
of that
was
scene.
little. Until you said
There's just a
scene in
bad...
the L word.
No. There's just a bad joke that is made in the L word about, like, I'm gonna... blah 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 with the Little League team, and so anytime I hear the
Wait, what is black? No, you got to fill this in because I've never seen. I don't know anything about the L word. What
it's just an
delete this
irrelevant. It's like a one-off scene. It does not matter.
But the whole joke was so back in the 80s before computers
Okay,
and shit and like really good birth certificate records.
sure.
They would lie about Cuban Little League players' ages.
Cubans specifically.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
Cuba produces really good baseball players. I don't know what it is, but they really produce a lot of good baseball players. Specifically pitchers. But they would lie about it was a running joke in the 80s where they would lie about Cuban Little League pitchers' ages.
Okay.
And they would age them down. So it'd be like an 18-year-old, and they'd be like, he's 13. And you're like, that dude's smoking cigarettes and has a mustache.
That's
there's no way-
ridiculous.
There's no way he's 13. And they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's 13. Like, yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
I'm with you now. I get it. So it's kind of like the opposite of what I said.
Yeah, it's exactly the opposite of what you said. But
Wow.
that's why I was like, wait, what?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. I mean,
If you don't know, you don't know.
but
You know what? I hate all those posts where it's like, if you know, you know. And it's like, I thought I knew, but now I'm not sure because it says, if you know, you know.
dude, that's why the internet fucks me up because I don't keep up with internet culture. So then people will be like, you know what this means? And I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
So you'll find, I don't know if you'll find this as funny as I do. I don't know if you'll find this as funny as I do, but after our trip to Louisville.
Oh, yeah.
You and me?
No, Jared, when we did Peppers and Punchline.
Because I was going to say, I don't think I've ever been there.
Oh, yeah. No, Jared is now convinced I'm autistic.
I wouldn't be surprised. Why did he say that?
I don't
feel-
get that. I don't get that.
Why
at all.
did
I
he
feel
say
like
that,
everybody
though?
thinks everybody knows some shit I don't know.
Drew, there's something wrong with you. But
Well,
what,
yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with
But why did he say that?
me. Because of the Muhammad Ali Museum. So,
Go on.
Okay.
please.
have you ever been in an interactive museum?
No.
I don't interact.
She really doesn't. Not even when she should.
I'm too drunk for this. Y'all make me fucked up. I got
your
all
own
nervous.
alcohol. We offered you alcohol, and you're like, "No, I got my own."
Yeah, and then I chugged half a pint of fucking vodka so I could deal with y'all.
Man, we're not even that bad right now. Give it time.
Well,
I'm still not that drunk.
I was convinced you guys were gonna be like fighting the whole time.
No, this is day 2. It's fine.
It's we did that last night, and I like Kristen is handling herself a lot better now. So.
I don't want to start an argument. Okay, so here, interactive museums.
Yes.
So interactive museums, you are supposed to go through in a very specific way.
Okay.
So, like at the Muhammad Ali Museum, you are supposed to enter on the first floor, go up to the 5th floor, watch a whole movie, and then walk through in a very, not a whole movie, it's 20 minutes or so. But,
oh my god, this reminds me of being in art college, and I'm so bored.
see, this is, well, no, it's not that it's boring.
I know.
This is where it fucks you up.
I'm joking mostly.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I get it, I know.
I'm
but,
not.
But, all right.
I've
Go
never been to
on.
art
No,
college. I'm sorry.
Art college is awesome, actually. I would
bet you it
try
is.
it. Even
I
if
bet
you
you
go
it
into
is.
debt for the rest of your life, art college is the best kind of
You
college.
can get out of debt. Did you know that?
I mean,
just
can
click
you?
The link
I'll
that
try.
I
I'll do it.
gave
Have you?
you?
How much
I'll
have
do
you
it.
dug
I'll do it.
yourself
Try
into
it
debt?
a little bit.
How much
Okay,
debt
yes.
you got right
I
now?
will.
Because
Oh, mine is because I'm reckless, not because I was trying to get educated. A little bit is education. A little bit.
Mine is because I'm reckless with my education. Yeah.
I'm too dumb to
Same.
be educated. Anyway,
I signed up
That's
for
true.
I signed
That
up for
is true. You are very
IPFW when it
dumb.
was still IPFW, and then I would skip my psychology classes and then go
Yeah.
to the fucking.
What?
You can't start side arguments.
You need to keep your mic at your face. That was the problem last night. Is you kept not having your microphone, so you can't just like try to have a side conversation with me while I'm still holding.
Yeah,
my
you're starting
microphone.
side arguments off mic. You can't do that. That's not
it
fair.
was an accident.
I feel like we
It
are
wasn't
not
an accident.
being-
it
It wasn't an accident because
accidental.
you were like.
It was intentionally accidental. That's bullshit. That's some dumbass bullshit. That
Intention-
is the most dumbass bullshit I've ever heard.
Intentionally accidental. If one of you don't use it for the name of your first special, no, I can't use it for the name of
you
my
should
first special.
use it. You should
So,
use it. That doesn't suit me.
You'll like this because this is
Mhm.
I wanted to start a beef with Lynette just to fuck with her. So because Lynette's the only black female comedian in Fort Wayne,
I have to interrupt you. That actually does suit me perfectly. Go on.
Yeah, of course.
I
it
wanted.
does.
I told Lynette I was gonna name my first special black female comedian
Mm-hmm.
just to start beef with her where they look up
Because
Drew.
you're a little tiny white boy. Yeah.
just I was gonna name it because I was like, well, there's no competition. Everybody competes with everybody. Like weirdly, everybody competes with everybody in this scene. Like there's.
I just wish that we could get to a point where it doesn't matter like what your gender or ethnicity is. That it's just like,
Oh, you'll never get to that.
listen to what I have to say. I hope that it
Here we
gets
are.
to a point where it all is based on the merit of how fucking actually good you are at comedy.
This is never a meritocracy.
Well, then let's take a break then. I just really feel like this is a conversation for the pod, honestly.
Before we go any further, I just want to reiterate, and I feel like it's important that I do reiterate. I love Summit City. If it wasn't for Summit City, I wouldn't get started in comedy.
Yeah.
And so I
Oh,
really
they've done
appreciate-
so much more for Fort Wayne comedy than.
And you
for
know what?
local
And
comedy.
they've done a lot for me, but also at the same time, it is like it's frustrating, and I know that I am partially to blame for my own shortcomings, but I
don't know if
the business
necessarily
aspect.
you're to blame as much as you haven't figured out how to sell yourself to you haven't found your crowd. You're a very
there are people who enjoy my comedy, but
there are
I mean,
a lot of people, dude.
I'm still doing it. I don't know what else to do other than to keep going forward. You know what I mean?
Well, that's all there is. There's that's the conversation we were having earlier. Is you define your own success in comedy.
Right.
Like if your success in comedy is I want to be a millionaire, you're a failure already.
Yeah.
Like statistically speaking, you're not going to get there.
I just want to be a working comic. I just want people to know who I am, ask me to do shows, and pay me. That's all I want. I don't care like how big the show is. I don't care how much money it is. I just want to do it.
What about you, Drew? What's your identifying? Well, how do you identify as a successful comedian? Like, what would it take in your mind to feel as though I'm successful in comedy?
It's been a lot of small goals. Like, I don't do big goals. I don't do, I want to get to this place, because the way comedy works, that's not how comedy works. Like, so my first goal in comedy was I want to pay a month's phone bill with comedy, which is $40.
Mm.
And then I did that, and then I went, okay, I want to pay a month's rent.
Have you succeeded?
Yeah,
in
I did that. So my next giant goal in comedy, I don't know if I'll ever actually achieve it, but my actual giant goal in comedy right now is to pay a whole month's bills. Every bill that I have, I want to pay in comedy.
That's nice. You know what? I should probably follow in your footsteps. I should probably think that way, but I don't really think about money much at all.
I don't think about money in that way, but as far as like monetary success, like, because that's an easy goal to track. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I did 40. Next month I did 220. Like, you know.
Ultimately, that is definitely my goal, is just to live by, you know, the means, and just to be able to survive off the means with comedy versus having
to do your factory job.
That's
10 hours a day.
And that goes back to what I was saying earlier, is I think is a lot of people get into this business and they think about success and monetary means, and they think about like, I want to be Dane Cook, I want to be Kevin Hart, I want to be Bill Burr, I want I want to be a billionaire off fucking comedy.
I have no desire to be famous, oddly enough.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I would love to maintain my ability to walk down the street and not have anyone know who I am. I would love to do that.
I want to get to the level of comedy where people will walk. See, I don't know if the little bit ego I have is I don't want to necessarily be unknown in my town.
You know what, though? I'm already known in my town, and I feel like probably you guys are too.
You're like, yeah, that's too much. I don't like it.
It is a lot sometimes. People come up to me, and they're like, you're that comedian, and I'm like, I have nothing to offer you right now. I'm not on stage.
Exactly.
Oh, did I tell you the joke? I told Stacey the joke. But if, like, so Stacey and I went to a show recently, and she's like, oh, we're comedians. And the first thing these people told us was like, oh, tell us a joke.
And I said no.
Yeah, no.
Stacey said no right away. And the first thing I said was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not getting paid right now. I'm just not ready to do that. But I thought of a joke to say to these people when they tell you to tell a joke. Do you want to know what it is?
Yes.
It's a street joke. What's the difference between a comedian and a prostitute? With a prostitute, when they tell you what they do for a living, you don't expect them to give it up for free. And the work conditions are a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. At least they get paid more. Jesus fucking Christ.
I know, for fucking 10 minutes, whatever. But go ahead.
I stole the Tom Segura thing where, because I had one bad interaction where I was in an Uber and a guy was like, he was taking me to the comedy club to drop me off, and he was like, yeah, you're a comedian? And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, well, tell me a joke. And I was like, we're not doing that. And then he got mad at me.
Oh.
Like, he got, like, real mad at, like, what the fuck? And I was like, would you expect me to be like, hey, I'm asking for an Uber ride and be like, drive me somewhere?
I know. It's
Like
exactly how I feel.
what are you doing right now?
You
dude?
know what? I've actually had friends do that to me as a DoorDasher. They're like, "Oh,
Drop some food off to
you
me?
bring food to people. How about you get me some food right now?"
What the fuck?
And I actually did it one time, and they did not tip me. And I'm not going to name names, but it is someone who has been on this
name
podcast.
names. Name names. That person's a piece of shit. Name names.
I am just going to
Name
say
initials.
they have been a guest on this podcast, and you know what? I was like, that was a waste of
All
my
right,
fucking time.
so we're, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to, I think, 19 people.
23. 22, probably.
Oh, wait, no, I'm 22. So 21
You're 24,
people.
technically. You're on episode 24, so we've had 22 guests. Because we've had 2 episodes.
It was Jesse, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. I'm not going to tell you who
Don't
it was.
tell. All right, give me an initial.
I
One
can't.
initial.
That's
I
an
can't.
First or
off-pod
last.
conversation.
I'll tell you off pod.
I don't want to know off pod. I want this person's a dick. Give me $4.
Stacey needs a shot before she really tells you
I
who it
will
was.
say that it wasn't Isaiah because I don't do anything for Isaiah. However, Isaiah has asked me to do that same thing like a bunch of times, and I've never done it.
On pod, I will say this: we can cut everything else
on
out.
pod. That's funny.
If we
next
say
time,
if we
if someone
cut-
says something sincerely, be like, on pod.
If we cut everything else out on pod, if you don't tip, you're a piece of shit.
Thank you.
If you don't tip, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That is a
On
stance
pod.
I stand by.
Even if it's your friend.
On pod. Oh no, especially if it's your
On
friend.
pod, you're a fucking piece of shit if you don't tip.
Well, Kristen has officially left the podcast, so I guess that this is the end.
Confirmed anybody